Welcome to Taiwan Talk on ICRT. I'm Ryan Drillsma. Today I speak to Toy Wyndham, who's been a resident in Taiwan for over 4 years and organises bi-monthly events called Community Convos, where people meet to discuss and share information on a wide range of topics, from issues specific to Taiwan to whatever is hitting headlines around the world. Toy tells about her goal to create a safe space for people to have difficult discussions and walk away, hopefully learning something new. Okay, Toy, so welcome to Taiwan Talk.
Hi.
I've actually been wanting to talk to you about this project for a while because I know you've been doing it since last year, right?
Yes, I started in September.
Do you think you could introduce yourself first? Because I know that you've been working as a kind of community organizer for a while in Taiwan.
So my name is Toy Wyndham. I am from the US and I've been in Taiwan for 4.5 years, a little bit more. When I came to Taiwan, I was getting my MBA first. And then I started doing a little bit of teaching and also switched to copywriting and marketing for a tech company. And then I decided I wanted to do my own thing, start something that was more meaningful. And after the Black Lives Matter rally, I felt there was a need for people to have conversation, to have dialogue about tough topics, about very in-depth topics, because I saw a lot of people arguing about things online, and those online battles were going nowhere. And I also feel like when people talk about things online, they forget that there's a person behind those words and not trying to see things from a different perspective or just like, hey, let me drill in my point. And so I felt like it was important to have in-person dialogues. So I created Community Convos.
Toy was one of around 8 people that co-organised a Black Lives Matter rally in Taipei last year, and this was a springboard for her to start off discussion sessions to bring people together on topics that are often hard to talk about.
So Community Convos is a safe space for us to have open and meaningful dialogues about very sensitive or hard topics. We started with, like, do Black lives really matter? Like, talking about what it's like to be Black and allyship. We also discussed Indigenous people's rights. We talked about transgender and non-binary people, had a panel of people come in and talk about their experiences. And it was really nice to have them come and talk, because sometimes when they try to express themselves, it's not always a safe space for them. So for the people who come in and lead the discussions and the people who are in the audience, it's a safe space for both sides of the conversation. We've also discussed cultural appropriation versus appreciation. We talked about mental health, and we talked about Earth Day and consumer behavior. How can we change our mindset and behavior to better help the Earth? And then the next one that will be on May 4th, we're going to be talking about COVID in Taiwan in 2021. Like, how does that affect us? But also, let's talk about the vaccines. Let's talk about the future of travel, because COVID has put it pretty much at a standstill.
So what inspires you to come up with the topics that you discuss at the events?
I look at the pulse of people, like what comes up in my daily conversations with friends and family here in Taiwan, but also back home, what's in the news, things that pull a string with me personally too. It's a mix of all of those things.
Is this an event that it tends to be aimed at foreigners in Taiwan, or do you try to incorporate local people as well?
I want to include everyone, no matter where you're from, whether you're local or foreigner. And we've had quite a good mix of people from different backgrounds, nationalities. But I know we are a little bit limited because it's held in English. And I'm working on finding someone who can help translate during the events to make it more inviting for local people.
So as you said, you advertise the event as a safe space for meaningful and difficult discussions. Have you encountered any difficult situations when you've had conversations in the past?
Yes, of course. We do, because I don't expect people to agree on every topic or every point with it that's being discussed within a topic. So we do have some people who disagree on things and come from very different angles, and that's okay. And for me, I am the mediator. I am the guide through these discussions. So sometimes I have to tell people like, okay, let's take a break. Let's shift a little bit, or let's talk about this aspect of that topic. So some of the discussions get a little heated because these are topics we can all personally have an opinion and a viewpoint on, but they're very insightful. I learn a lot just in the preparation phase of each discussion, but then when I get there, people bring so many different viewpoints, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't consider that.
So when people do come to loggerheads at this event, do you find them being able to discuss with each other and eventually come to some sort of resolution? Do you think this event helps people change their mind about things, or at least consider different viewpoints?
Well, I wouldn't say we come to resolutions. It's more so coming to understanding about various viewpoints on these topics, and learning more about the topic itself. And so, yeah, people leave away like feeling pretty happy usually, and feeling like, wow, that was very insightful. It's good to learn more outside of my own personal life.
So is this the goal of Community Convos? You want people to take away something from the conversation, whether it be to regard a different viewpoint that they might not have had previously, or to acknowledge something they don't know?
Yeah, I would say that, but also giving people the chance to voice their opinions, to have their voice heard by other people. I think that's also important too. I mean, all too often we feel like we're the only person who experienced something in a certain way, and sometimes that's true, but also knowing like I'm not alone and my voice matters. So I think all of that together is the purpose.
Okay, so where and how often does Community Convos take place?
So I call them volumes. So right now we're in volume 2, and they happen on Tuesdays every 2 weeks. So the next one is May 4th, and then the one following would be May 18th, and then June 1st, I believe. And they take place at Mary Jane's Pizza Bar on Da'an Road near Civic. Starting at, well, the doors open at 6:30 for the event, and then conversation begins at 7 o'clock.
Okay, and what topics do you plan to cover in the future? Or what are some topics you would like to discuss personally?
Okay, so the next one, like I said, is about COVID and how that affects us in future of travel. And then another one within this volume will be transgender people and sports. And then another one, we'll have a guest speaker come in and talk about rethinking refugees, and the asylum seeker crisis that's happening. It's always been a crisis, but it's been amplified because of COVID. So Diana Chiang will come in and talk with us about that. It's going to be a wide range of things.
Okay, finally, is there anything else you would like people to know about Community Convos?
Come out, come join the conversation. It's a great time. Every time it gets pretty deep. It makes you question about your own beliefs and your own understanding about a topic. So yeah, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Community Convos Taiwan. So yeah, just one word.
Okay, thank you for joining us today, Toy.
Thank you, Ryan. It's great being here.
Thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm Ryan Drilsma, and this is Taiwan Talk on ICRT FM 100. Hi, I'm Ryan Drilsma.
And I'm Trevor Tortomasi.
And we're the co-hosts of Taiwan Talk.
You can catch our show on ICRT every Monday during the 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. newscasts.
Or you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, SoundOn, or wherever you might usually find podcasts.
New episodes are uploaded every Monday night.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with a new guest.